what we're working on today. I have a basement area with some old lighting they wanted taken down and add a few can lights. It's a blacked out ceiling, so I took a little flat black paint and painted up these can lights I bought. And then some LED bulbs and the trims. I just painted them up with some flat black. Then we're going to add an outlet over there on that wall. So let's get started. Assortment of what we'll need here is a small ladder, tools, cordless outlet, cover, drywall saw, tester, pencil, strippers, lineman's pliers, couple screwdrivers, hammer, staples, and some wire nuts, gloves if you prefer, and some wire. First thing we'll do is check for power, and that's the wires that go to the other lights down here, and we want them on the same switch, so that's good. So let's remove this old light. Got the hot wires. Put that back on so I don't have an ouchie. Neutral next. Okay, looks like they have an old junction box up here that they never used. This is totally, mostly illegal. How they have it mounted, but it seems like I screwed the back up to the floor. Exactly what we did. Not hard to hold this up there. Come on. Off the video and open that little light. That's all right. There we go. Now, there's actually a light going in this same spot, a can light. So I'll probably put one of these wires in the can junction box and put a junction on the other, because you can't have open splices in the ceiling. Here's the center of that new light. So the next step is to mount the lights without smacking your finger with a hammer. That would be preferable. All right, here we have center, and what I did was this old splice will actually fit in the junction box of the light. So we spin the junction box around and to the center on the mark we have right there. These things just push over, and there's a center mark on the can itself. So smack that a few times, scoop these out. And I want this all the way over, so just leave it there. These things are able to slide to, if you have a center this direction, you want it on, but for this application, we're gonna leave it right there. Okay, being as those wires were hot, because that's the light circuit down here, I turned the switch off, and that should kill it good enough. And there's no power. This is a inductance tester. This one happens to be variable. You can set the sensitivity up and down, and you just push the button, and if it touches something with some flux or some inductance, which is what electricity produces when it's going through the cable. It's called magnetic flux, or it's the magnetic field going around the wire when it's juiced up. So enough of that. Let's get this in here. Quick tip, since it's dead, you can remove all this old stuff. Save it for later. Don't need that much wire, so I can clip off these ends. Throw them in the trash box. These cans have a nifty little Halo, the name brand of these lights. Tighten up that staple. And Halo has these nifty little connectors. Take off this button connector. Trash. These nifty little connectors here. You lift up that little tab and you can slide the wire in. Or on the back side too for the other one. This should work pretty well. And just put my hands in the way. Camera. Lay it sideways. And I'll show you on the other one. This is kind of, my hand's in the way here. Put the one in the back. Put the back cover back on. They come with these little wire nuts, push-in type. I don't really like them because it's just like wiring an outlet from the back. Really don't like them that much, but they work. So this is how these go on. The Romex has a flat side, so you just put that flat side here and just slide it in. Kind of cool. Helps out a lot. So I need to get another wire out of here. These are the wires that were existing. One light back that way, and there's another light in the other part of the basement that it feeds. So to get to my other two cans, that way and that way, I will need an extra wire. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, I got my wires ran to the other two lights, and I'll show you on this one because I have 3 extra wires in there, how we put these together. Basically all you do is take all the grounds. I have them all pre-stripped except for the one here. These are great for insulation because they're made for them. Just give it a little snip in the right size, 14.2. Pull it right off. So nice, very handy. Get in there. Strip the last 2. Get you a pair of Kleins. Start with the grounds. I did this box here because I just wanted to show you guys how I do this. So line up all the ends. And as in all my videos, give you little tool tips. Try not to squeeze hard when you're twisting, let the wires slide through. That way it makes a nice neat little spiral. And don't forget the light ground. Get you a nice red wire nut. Put on all them, line up all the ends. Start twisting until it gets tight and pull on that and the rest of them. Make sure they're all in there good. Hold on to the back of the box and shove them into the back. Neutrals, all the same way. These are white. I mean, they just been painted, ceiling's been painted in here, so they got a little black paint in them. Ouch. Yeah, there's a little bit of copper sticking out there and pinched me. Twist, twist, twist. Twist, twist, twist. Nice little neat twist. Another wire nut. Get the white one from the light. It actually is. It's just been painted a little. Line everything up and don't let it slide. When you put wire nuts on, when you're adding to a little spire or a little stranded wire to your copper, try to twist it on there a little, but don't shove the wire nut on, because when you shove it on, you'll push this little wire back and it won't make a good connection. So what you do is you just line them up, put it on, wiggle a little, and then spin without pushing, and it'll grab everything. There. Tug, not coming loose. All right. Shove those back in there. Now I can put that wire in there. All right. Now we have the other three. Come on. Come on, get in the right slot. You should put your glasses on, dork. All right, let's line these up. Yeah, I just call myself a dork, but been called worse. Line them all up. Give them that cool little slip and twist. Yeah. Now, if all the ends aren't even, cut them off square with the wires. That way the wire nut grabs the same on all of them and nothing will fall out. And don't forget the wire from the fixture or it won't work. Again, twist that around. Do not shove. Put it on there. Start twisting until it grabs without pushing. And you won't ever have to worry about anything coming loose. If you do all this, pull on everything, nothing's coming out. An extra little twist to make them tight. Because if you don't have them tight, loose wires cause fires. They cause heat first. There, all tied in. You just have to paint these wires. And I'll show you how I ran them. Okay, I moved my operation over to this one. Take that out. Pop one of these up. This is one of the other two lights. Both of these only have one wire in them because I junctioned the rest of them. Middle light. Square everything up so it looks kind of decent. Strip back your insulation. Cut these off about as long as the other ones. Strip them off. You only want about a 1/2 inch here because of these little push-in connectors they have. Hope I'm not yelling in the phone, but it's like right next to my face. So these are kind of easy. Push them in, but make sure nothing comes out. You know, give them a little tug. White to white. Black to black. Put things in there, and you can slide this in. Fold them up neatly. Don't just start cramming things in there because things can loosen up. Don't do that. That's how easy that was. Now I'll show you how I ran the wires. Okay. I ran those on there real neatly. Everything's dark down here, but the other two lights you can barely see, but I'm trying to wire up over the ductwork. On back here. That. And turns above the duct next to the smoke detector. And there's the can light. And we'll touch that paint up. And both them into the first can. That's where our junction is from our old light. Okay, thought I'd try to get this camera to work inside this can light. There's a little socket up here that has this handy cap in it, so they'll get things in the socket like paint. These were silver until I painted them. These adjust up and down for bulb height in your can. Put these step baffles in, I move it up to there. Tighten it back up. This is a typical step baffle. It used to be white until I painted it. And I call them step baffle because they have these little steps on them, or because it steps up into the light, and it has these springs on it that clip up in these little holes or these slots, whichever work better for you. High slots. I like these because it's a little simpler. Put the baffle up in there. Take your spring and hook it in those little holes, which is not always easy. These springs have a little hook on them, by the way. And can't see anything. Okay, there. That's in. Now at that height, see, the bulb can be equal with the bottom of the trim or close to it. Put that little bad boy in there. And when you put a bulb in, don't turn it so tight that it aluminum on the shell expands with heat. So you turn it on, the bulb gets hot, and it expands and tightens up, and then you can't get the bulb out when it's bad. So don't He-Man it in there. Okay, we're gonna put an outlet in this wall over here. I found a circuit in this basement that was already tied to several other outlets in the basement, like one's over there on the wall. But since it's the basement circuit, and all I'm adding is an outlet for a TV they're putting over here, I figured it'd work just fine. Ran the wire up the ceiling through there, come around here. Ran it across there and down the wall. to there, the opposite side of the wall, and let's go put an outlet in. Okay, now we're gonna put this outlet in the wall. I use a hammer to find the height on my outlets, typically. So, just something we did when we was wiring houses in way back, and top and bottom of the box. I already have a mark from the other side where we ran that wire a few minutes ago. Now, I'm going to put my little handy dandy trash bag up here to catch all the dust. They got a nice laminate floor down here, and I just don't want dust everywhere. So, just take some electric tape, put it on there, run my finger across the top of it while I'm stretching, and it leaves a little hanging thing. And I take a bag and I stick it up there. Like that. It catches all the dust. Now, if you decide to steal my idea and patent it somehow, I want royalties. So now what I'll do is, I know there's a stud over here because I just put the wire on the back side and poked this little hole. So if I go on the bottom of the box, cut over to the stud, I know that's the length where the stud is, and that's the side of the box. So I know I'm not running into any boxes. What I normally do when I can't get to the back side is I use this screwdriver. I call it a Speedy. It's made by Klein. Really easy to do stuff, and I'll use that sometimes to reach in the wall, and then I can feel where the stud is. It's so handy. A little trick I use. Put this here at the bottom of the box there, up against the stud. Make sure it's straight. Mark around this thing. There. Now cut her out. Yep, just had to check. That'd be a great video. How to mess up a wall. Might be a little crooked, but it should work. Make sure the box is not quite big enough. Perfect. Perfect. Pull it out. Reach back here. Hey!
I just wanted to let you know I'm gonna go. I'm going out to walk Teddy.
Okay.
So, and I don't know if Aaron told you, if you need a water, a Coke, a Diet Coke,
Oh.
please help yourself to anything.
Okay.
A beer, I don't know if you're feeling it today.
No, not normally.
But I'm just letting you know, I'm just running out. I'm
All
just
right.
walking around the neighborhood.
No problem, thanks. All right. That was nice. Homeowners are awesome. Okay. I'll strip this out. Cut her off out there. Not going in the box already. Pull the wire through. See, these little work boxes are really nice. I love these gray ones. Or tan, whatever you want to call it. But when you turn this screw, it flips up this thing here, and when you tighten it, come on, you tighten it, it pulls it and squeezes it between this and the wall. Really nice. That's how they make it. There's one on top, one on the bottom. And you just drop your screwdriver and you just tighten that up. Tighten that up. There. Strip these off. Rule of thumb is try to make them as long as your hand from the wall. Gives the next person plenty of room to work with. The next guy that gets in the outlet, anyway, shore wires are horrible when you're getting into an outlet. And, oops, that was my drill. So, put the bare wire, ground wire on the green screw. Hook it real good. Slow down. Tighten it really tight without stripping. The white typically, normally, goes on the same side as the ground wire. Silver screw, white wire means neutral. Black wire, gold screw, hot wire, hot, energized, power, whatever you want. Now, if you twist the outlet, when you're putting it in, folds it up nice and neat. I'm a ground down guy. In case you didn't know, neutral is longer side, hot is shorter side. And I sometimes cheat, put these in with a battery drill. Don't overdo it. Fiber box might strip out. But anyway, there you go. The old working outlet. Always put your screws straight up and down. And pull them soft, nice and easy. And we're done.